Baseball's hot stove continues to ignite for the San Diego Padres. Trade talks are intensifying. Marcell Ozuna, the latest target that is being linked to the Padres. Let's talk about everything that we know about this potential trade with the Braves, what it could impact for the San Diego Padres, and let's figure out what you guys think about it. What's going on, everyone? Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest, the show where many of you are still on the fence about whether or not we're any good at our jobs. If you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. If not, no worries. I will be here to blather on about baseball all year long. All right, let's talk about the man that I showed you at the beginning, Marcell Ozuna. There are now reports that Marcell Ozuna would accept a trade. That is according to John Heyman weighing in on the potential trade, and the Padres being the primary team linked with Ozuna and the deal there to be done. The Padres have been linked to a couple of different Braves, with Sean Murphy, their catcher, and Marcell Ozuna being two of them. This video is just going to mostly be on Ozuna because that's the actual nitty-gritty of the trade. But in general, if you want to comment about anything Braves trade related, drop it below and let's discuss it. All right, the San Diego Padres, as of us recording this video, they just dropped an L to the Miami Marlins, and it's bound to happen every now and then, but ultimately they are doing pretty well post All-Star break. They are within striking distance of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I personally think they should be buyers to at least some degree at the trade deadline. As always, when I say, let's go through this video, you drop a comment, let me know. The fun phrase that I took from you guys was medium buyers, medium sellers. So give a little bit out, get a little bit back. Don't make anything too drastic. Marcell Ozuna, to me, falls under the category of not doing anything too drastic. Here are the numbers this season for Ozuna. And this is why I say medium ad, a medium price to pay for medium ad, it would seem. Ozuna at 235 is not necessarily a huge upgrade for the Padres on the batting average front. Some of you are pro or anti using batting average even as a metric. Maybe the second one in is a little bit more interesting, the pop that is left in that bat. Largely, it seems that the San Diego Padres have needs to upgrade a catcher offensively, a left fielder, and a DH. Now, the left field DH thing could be a slash sort of thing because Shildt has held his own. His batting average regressed a little bit from the beginning of the year when Holy Shildt was looking like Shohei, but he's still hitting pretty well for all things considered that he was DFA'd by the worst team in baseball last year. So you could hypothetically say leave Shildt out there and left, and then that we're just looking for a DH in Ozuna. But Ozuna, I think, gets a mixture of those at-bats. He is a right-handed hitter, which ultimately is something that I think we're missing in terms of like the variable pieces. Not that we don't have righties. Fernando's a righty. Manny's a righty. There are right-handed hitters on our team. It's more that right now, lefty Shildt, Arraez is a lefty. The pieces that we move in and out of the different DHs, the pieces that we move with Shildt out and left, and then the other replacements that we inevitably send out there with Lockridge and Johnson and Wade, like a lot of lefty hitters, not a ton of right-handed hitters, especially no right-handed hitters with any sense of pop. So Ozuna and these numbers, if we just say he dead set stays at 235, that's not fantastic. But if it's 235 with he's going to come in and hit 8 or 10 home runs down the stretch here, maybe even say 5 to 10. That little bit of pop, I could be convinced is kind of an interesting debate to start being made. Ozuna is at the tail end of a contract that I don't think the Braves are anything interested in re-upping on. He's 34, going to be 35 next season as an unrestricted free agent. Like, he's not necessarily, like, this is not a superstar that we need. The Sean Murphy trade with the Braves would be a big money in, big money out, like a huge deal there. This feels like there have been some, we'll send Bogaerts and international money and someone else mid-tier from the minor league system, like a couple of pieces. And you can like Bogaerts, you can like Kolek, you can like Vasquez, you can like Waldron, you can like Hart, you can like any and all of those dudes who kind of fill out the 4-5 spot in the rotation and into the bullpen. But as of the right now, none of them are the deciding factor between the San Diego Padres winning or losing a World Series. And not that Marcell Ozuna is guaranteed to be that, but I don't feel like trading Ryan Berger for Marcell Ozuna with a couple of other pieces on each side of that is over-leveraging our future in exchange for a guy that can help us right now. It's gonna be some reshuffling in the offseason when Cease and King inevitably have to get their re-signing or they exit, and then Musgrove's coming back and Darvish is getting a little bit older. So, like, yes, we do need to hold on to starting pitching, but I'm saying that I don't think any of those guys are the next coming of Denton True Young himself. And I'm fine with parting with any of those pieces if it gives us a right-handed bat like this that has a little bit of pop, and you start being able to play the matchup game a little bit of, we have a righty that we can bring off the, say it's a righty on the mound starting the game, we can start Sheets, and then when it gets into the bullpen, we can move Ozuna in to pinch hit as a righty because they brought out a lefty reliever. It gives us just that little bit of wiggle room. It gives us a little bit of pop. It gives us a little bit of like I add up all the pluses there that it gives us versus the minuses that it takes away from us. It takes away a potential future middle to lower tier part of the rotation guy. And I'm down for this trade. I think also I'm down for this trade because medium in, medium out for Ozuna doesn't spend any of our big bullets. And not that we have a ton of them, but right now you could potentially think that Cease is a tradable asset to a team that is looking for, like we did some scenarios with the Mariners or the Brewers or the Mets, or there are some teams out there that are like, hey, if we had one more ace, we are at like locked in levels. And so I think there are deals still to be made where we can trade him. There's reports that Cronenworth could be dished. There's reports of DeVries being linked, our top minor league prospect. So like, that's why I say hit the subscribe button. There's a bunch of other permutations that we can talk about on all these different trades. But to me, Ozuna, I do have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics because these numbers are not perfect. Like, this is not adding a no-brainer guy, but buying this in the discount bin to take a rest of the season flyer on it where he can't do any worse than, he can't do any worse than Bryce Johnson. I don't know. I don't see the downside there, especially if that's a domino where it puts a right-handed bat in our rotation or in our equation, in our left field DH spot, that we can then also still trade Cease to get another, then we can also trade Cease to get another piece at the catcher position or another piece out there in the right field or in the left field DH spot. Because I don't think that Ozuna has to come in and be like the guy who's guaranteed all the at-bats. If you're dishing a future starting pitcher or kind of a now guy like Berger, the shuttle squad guy, for a bat like Ozuna, where we're going to take a flyer on a guy who's probably a little past his prime but could, new coat of paint, look nice for the rest of the year. I don't think that that's promising Ozuna a ton of at-bats. I think that we could add him and still dish Cease for a Duran or a legitimate, currently in their prime type of player, and not be completely drained because King is coming back and because Cease's addition by subtraction. So other videos, other topics to talk about the trading. But what I'm saying in summary is that right now there do appear to be heavy reports, and some of these are conflicting reports. But right now there do seem to be reports from credible sources within the baseball world that Marcell Ozuna from the Braves is open to a trade to the Padres, and the Padres are in discussions with it. Let me know what you think about all of it, about the trading for Ozuna, the trading of Berger, the trading of who do you want to dish? Do you want to be sellers, or do you want to be so much to talk about right now with the trade deadline in general? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Like I said, also, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. If not, no worries. We'll talk to you guys soon.